Rage Quit Stories. According to Reddit. Number 13. At my very first pool job, I lasted about 2.5 years, from the age of 15 to the age of 17. It was just one mess after another, and in 2.5 years, we had gone through 8 different bosses and had a massive turnover. By the time I was 17, I was in the top 5 most senior staff at the facility. Out of all the ridiculous things that happened, the last straw was when they made me go to do a chemical run with the pool that ran out of bleach. We had a contamination, and there was not a liter of bleach anywhere in the building at all. Nowhere. So, my boss comes to me, tells me to take my car, not a company car, my personal vehicle, and drive it to the grocery store to buy some bleach, which wouldn't have done shit because it's not concentrated enough. They wouldn't have paid me for the gas or the time that it would take me to drive to the store. I went to my locker, grabbed all my stuff, packed it in my car, and left. I didn't get the bleach. I just went home. I handed in my resignation later that day. Rage Quit Stories. That's a new thing I do. You hate it? Good. Like the video. Linda, how are you doing? Carly KH. I don't think that's the name that you've always had, is it? Human Being, Allison. Retro Pepe. Dia and Fredrickson, how are you doing? Here's hoping everything is going well. Pepe says he's looking for a psychiatrist through his insurance. Going through the process again is overwhelming. So I see. Here's hoping it's not as difficult as it seems. Number 12. When I first moved to New York City, I got a bartending job. I don't like the way that that's split because it made me read it like that. Let me try that again. When I first moved to New York City, I got a bartending job at a pub in Williamsburg. The manager was always missing in action, and the staff was usually left to their own devices. One weekend, a huge blizzard hits the city, and I had made it into work when the city declared a state of emergency and started shutting down the trains. They tried to establish a state of emergency for Florida right now, and a hurricane's not coming for like another couple of days. But whatever. Guess you get people preparing early. I called my manager to tell them that the trains were shutting down and the staff wanted to leave and catch the last trains home before it was too late. He said no, and to stay. At this point, the snow was getting deep enough to make opening the store difficult. Why did I say make and then store? Okay. At this point, the snow was getting deep enough to make opening the front door difficult. I texted my manager that we were leaving the store, and we packed up and closed the store. What? The next morning, the manager texted to say that we were opening for brunch despite all the trains being shut down. I told him I couldn't make it in, so he said he would come pick me up in his car and ask for my address. I gave him a fake address, turned off my phone, went back to bed, and found a new job later that week. What a fucking aggressive douche. Oh, you gave him a fake address. My man. How do you get your pay, though, dude? How do you get your pay? Holy hell. Bruh. Aggressive. Who do you think you are? These aren't your slaves. Your wage slaves. Here we go. Number 11. There were a couple of things building up to the last straw. Mainly, I was the supervisor of my crew, but the boss was getting around to the paperwork that would confirm my title change and pay raise for around 3 months. Well, I was supposed to get full medical benefits, but the day that I quit, the benefits were in the mail, so just wait for 7 months. The last straw was when the company had approaching deadlines, and the scumbag management staff was getting desperate. They kept cutting out everyone's breaks and harassing people for out of filing first aid reports. Someone on my crew was starting to get heat rash, but the boss was standing in the shade glaring at us down or glaring us down so we wouldn't take breaks. After my coworker collapsed, I stopped everything, ran to her side to help. The boss came up and said, "Oh shit, heat stroke? Take 5 minutes, get water, and get back to work." Oh my God. So I exploded and told them to go fuck themselves, that they're as bad as the manager. They are a person and they can't be treated like that. I helped my coworker gather her things and I gathered mine, and I drove her to the hospital and I never went back. I immediately filed a safety breach report with the WorkSafe BC, telling them of every safety rule that they broke. And since then, I heard that 2 others quit. The company is under full investigation. And another coworker asked me to support him in filing a discrimination lawsuit against the company. Same shitty boss was very racist toward Native Americans. That is fucked up. That is fucked up. Linda, love. I love you. You can, it's rude, okay, to be that insensitive. Only jokes, not things that actually hurt, you know? Not that will actually hurt them now, time. Jeez. Number 10. I worked at an animal shelter. I loved my boss, manager, everyone that worked there was like family to me. But the board of directors kept fucking with us, cutting our budgets, hiring people without our knowledge. One day, when I was off, my boss arranged a walkout to go complain to the county executive about the unfair behavior of the board and the mistreatment of our staff, including extremely racist remarks towards our manager. My lord. All of the animals were taken care of before the walkout, and they were only gone for an hour. We thought things were finally going to get better, but 10 days later, the BOD came in and fired my boss. Most of the staff quit. I walked out with him, most of the staff quit and walked out with him. I wish I did too. Within the next month, the new management let the place go to shit. Cats not getting their medication, being given the wrong food, and a massive ringworm outbreak. Humans can get ringworms too. Ew. They had to open a new building just for the cats that needed to be quarantined. Meow. And the remaining original staff was thrown into the mess to supervise the new buildings ourselves. It just kept getting worse, spreading around the shelter like a wildfire. New management had no idea how to handle it, and one day, a couple of veterinarians came into our building and put down 3 of the cats. They actually had to restrain us from the room they were euthanizing in. And after that, I sat in the break room and refused to work for the rest of the day, just crying with my other coworkers instead. Oh my God. I went home that day and never showed back up. I now volunteer with an amazing organization with my old boss and other staff members, still rescuing animals and doing all that I can. I mean, yiggity yikes, boys. It's pretty messed up. I mean, it's a shame that she had to stay and be in the midst of that. Rage quit stories. Rage quit stories. Oh my bing bong. All right, let's go. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it real. Scrolling up to number 9. Hello, Alice. How are you doing? I used to work as a lifeguard. I had injured my shoulder and was in a sling. They forced me to come into work and threatened to fire me if I did not. I had to guard a pool being unable to swim because my arm was in a sling. I did the pettiest thing possible. I sent in my resignation late at night, the day before my morning shift. Have fun finding a replacement. Let's see what the comments are all about here. Why resign and not just let them fire you? You'd have potentially been better off and possibly eligible for unemployment. I have no experience resigning or being fired, and I'm 28. Some people just don't know this. Well, it can vary by where you are located as different countries, states, cities. may have different laws on this, but in general, in the U.S., if you are fired without just cause, you are eligible for unemployment. However, if you quit, you are not. Intriguing. Number 8. I worked at a movie theater in my hometown all through high school. When I moved for college, I was able to transfer to the theater owned by the same company in my college town. The manager at the new theater was absolutely terrible. They were demeaning to the staff, they fired people for not selling reward cards, and they scheduled mandatory all-hands meeting with less than 1 week's notice. At one such meeting, 7 a.m. on a Sunday by the way, some of my coworkers were falling asleep. To wake them up, our manager made us stand up, do 5 jumping jacks, and sit back down. Nah, I wouldn't do that. They did this every time. No. Here's the thing. Maybe it's because I'm a black man. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe it's because I'm a proud man. Maybe it's the Jamaican in me. Who knows? Let a nigga tell me to jump, so I could give him one of the hardest laughs that I ever should, and then I'll look to say, bitch. You know what I'm talking about? What are you talking about? Do some jumping jacks. I'd be like, bitch, I could jump on your throat. That's a reasonable response. I'm kidding. They did this every time someone fell asleep during the 3-hour meeting. 3-hour meeting at 7 a.m. on a Sunday. After around the 4th or 5th time, I decided I'd had enough and didn't stand for our punishment. My manager singled me out, asking me why I refused to participate. I replied, we're not children. Don't treat us like we are. I was 20 at the time. My manager replied by suspending me for a month right there in front of everyone, and I promptly replied, I'll just fucking quit, and never went back. No regrets, just left. We can jumping jack until we die. You and I will be fit forever. You make me come in on Sunday at 7 a.m. Better do these jumping jacks. I fall asleep. Don't take the chance. I don't want to get suspended. Number 7. I worked at a gas station deli. Ew. And right before I prepackaged shit at a gas station, you know, I'm not that scared of. But a deli at a gas station, unless it's Wawa, I don't trust it. I worked at a gas station deli, and right before I went in for my shift, my mom called me to tell me my sister had been rushed to the hospital and that I needed to go there to be with the family. I called my manager, and they said to find someone to cover your shift. I called a few people, and one person said that they would come in and cover my shift. I called the manager back and let him know that so-and-so was going to be covering my shift, and they said okay. I came in 2 days later for my next shift, and the manager starts flipping out on me how they were fucked because I didn't show up for my shift. I proceeded to remind them that I had to go to the hospital for my sister because so-and-so would be covering my shift. She then proceeds to tell me how so-and-so didn't show up, therefore it was my fault, and that it cost them money and all this bullshit. And I was like, you fucking kidding me? I'm sorry that you were too methed out to remember the call that I had, a family emergency. The fuck you and fuck this place, buddy. I walked out of the door and proceeded to fuck them. One more time. Music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate working at a gas station deli. One more time. I could be wrong, but isn't it 100% the responsibility of the manager to find people to cover shifts? Well, not in every job. Not when they can get away with it, you know? Here's the real trick of a lot of jobs, especially in management. If you can trick a lot of other people into thinking that their jobs include more responsibilities than they actually do, then you're managing the hell out of those bastards. You know what I'm talking about? Ridiculous. It's kind of like parenting. Think about that one. Hello, Estalion. Striped Piss says, oh shit, I love Hillary Duff too, Kyle. That can't be a Hillary Duff song, dude. Yeah. Damn it, that's a gross Kyle noise. You win this round. Well, if it isn't the spicy Amanda. You can't spell Amanda without a man. My job has a shift switch paper both employees have to sign. Otherwise, the original employee on that shift is responsible for not showing up. Nice. Number 7. -1. I was 18 and working at a movie theater concession stand on an extra busy day. My coworkers made themselves busy, doing things that didn't need to be done, like checking toilet paper or organizing candy, instead of helping me with the line that wrapped itself around the stand. One lady got extremely nasty with me because I didn't butter the middle of her popcorn. She was literally screaming at me for it. I looked and saw one of my coworkers just watching me and laughing as they pretended to clean the ticket booth window. I logged out of the POS, walked out of the concession stand, slammed the door behind me, told the customer she was being a complete bitch and didn't need more butter, told my coworker to go fuck himself, and walked out. I never went back despite them willing to apparently forgive me, because this wasn't my usual behavior. It's not my usual behavior. Usual behavior. You usually have such a good track record. I know this isn't like you. It's not going to change that all these chuckle bitches out here ain't doing their job, just looking busy. That's funny. It's funny because I think earlier today when I was looking through potential lists of things to read on Ask Reddit, let me take you on that adventure with me right now. One of these says, what do you strongly suspect but have no proof of? And then if you fly into this one, I think one of the entries says that only about 20% of people actually do any work, and the rest get by just looking busy. So that's interesting, because it kind of ties into what we're seeing in that last entry. Getting all this shit out of my nails. You guys don't hear from me in the next couple of days. I mean, I'm in Florida. Here comes some hurricane. Could be the end of my life. Hopefully I've left you with enough boring stuff to just put on while you're going to sleep or distract yourself with.
I'll take you to safety, don't worry.
You what?
I'll take you to safety.
What are you going to do, carry me, Dia?
Yes.
Okay. So, as we travel up to number 5, was working my second job as a welder, booked 2 weeks holiday paid for a trip to Canada to see the now wife's family. The day before we are set to leave, my manager tells me he's going to have to cancel it as he's booked 3 people off on the same weeks. I explained I'd paid out thousands on a holiday, and then he said I booked mine last so I'd have to loose it. I spoke with everyone on the site, yet no one else had holiday booked. I went to HR and he was called in to explain. He came out with the same crap. HR backed him up. I said okay, got up and walked off site. 45 phone calls missed by the time I'd driven home. 1 voicemail demanding I get my ass back or I'm fired. I called the owner and explained I quit and my reason. Turned my phone off and went on holiday. Aftermath. I returned from the holiday to nearly 50 voicemails from the manager telling me I'm in deep shit. Damn. You know the shit's deep when you spell it with an A. Okay. That I should watch my back when I'm in public. Sent them all to a solicitor and police in case anything happened, along with sending former boss everything. When you're leaving a threat on voicemail, thank God for stupid people. Thank God for stupid people. What an idiot. He was dismissed and I was offered his job, as I'd been there longer than most of the team. Didn't accept, as wanted to become self-employed, and it was the push that I needed. My man, well, you got it all going on, my dude. You were offered his position. This is like a dream scenario. This dude trying to tell you you can't go on your vacation that you like set up and booked in advance and had everything all set up, bro. And this dude's like, oh, well, you can't do that because other people have booked off. So, you know, I need you. And then he goes and talks to the other people who were loose ends And of course, that's not the case. The dude's telling a lie. So he goes to HR and HR backs him up, dude. Where the fuck you working where HR gonna back up this nonsense, dude? Not in today's day and age. Record these fools. Record all of these fools. Because I don't think people act in the interest of losing their fucking job. Yeah, people try to have each other's backs, but not in today's culture. You know, not when one recording can just bust your shit open. You dumb mother. Yo. One recording and oh snap, y'all exposed. And I would be the worst one telling me that I need to watch my back in public. Hey man, is it self-defense after a threat like that? I don't know. Number 4, boy. Okay. Number 4. I worked at a Red Lobster. Oh my God, say no more. For a few years in college, didn't really have any complaints. It was what it was. Right after graduating, I moved to another town and was able to transfer to one near my new location. Worst experience of my life. Horrible management. Location was in a relatively upscale part of town, so there were much better alternatives for seafood, so the customers were always shitty. We were required to be in 15 minutes prior to the start of our shift for a pre-shift meeting and changeover and stuff. The thing is, you couldn't clock in until 5 minutes before your scheduled start time. Like every other shitty company, Darden, the owner of Red Lobster, also very shitty company, wanted to run skeleton crews to save money, so we were always scrambling. So after, or often, I would come in and I would already have seated tables. Plural tables. They would be waiting for me. The host manager's mentality was, well, they need to be here 15 minutes early anyway, so if they can seat them 15 minutes early, nothing seemed to ever clarify why this was wrong on many levels. Well, one day I came in, already had a seated table, went over and greeted them immediately. They were upset but understanding, and then went to the bar to ask them to make some drinks. I couldn't enter them in the system since I couldn't clock in yet. While I was waiting for the drinks, I was venting to a fellow server about it and mentioned, if they seat me again before I can even clock in, I'm done. Well, before I could even finish the sentence, they had me seated again. I told the server I was talking to, it was nice to have worked with you. Made sure to let both tables know they were seated in a section that didn't even have a server yet, because the company didn't want to pay for a full staff, and that they should dine at a restaurant that cares about having a good experience, and I walked out. No regrets, and I'll never give Darden a dime of my money ever again. Hey, looks like you're getting bad press, thanks to a Reddit list, thanks to a Reddit list. Thanks to a Reddit list. Nobody listens to my videos, but I'm sure a robot will be reading it shortly. And then a whole bunch of kids will be all like, whatever Red Lobster is in Darden, they suck. We shouldn't go there, ma'am. Let me tell you a story, ma'am. Number 3. Okay. Told 3 out of my 4 managers that my grandma had died, so I wouldn't be able to make it to work the day after tomorrow. I also left a note for the 4th manager and asked everyone to let him know. During the funeral, I get a call from the 4th manager asking where I was. I called him back and explained, and he said, okay. I went to work the next day, and they handed me a paper saying I'd been written up for doing an improper call out. I handed the paper back and just left. Thank you for my first silver, anonymous stranger. I never thought this story we'd be the one to do it. Rest in peace to your grandmother, right? Fucking idiot. Jesus, man. Kyle believes there's 2 types of people in the world. Me, and then the type of person that would edit their post to go, thank you so much for upvoting it. I never thought I'd get this kind of attention. I want to say thank you to my pets. And I want to say thank you to this D battery that I have on my table. What am I going to do with a D battery? D battery. Ridiculous. This hurricane's going to kill me, man. We're dead. We're dead out here. These are the words of a dead man. You're listening to this in the future? You're wondering why there's no more videos? I guess this was it.
Don't worry, I'll smack some sense into him.
This was it, man. it was wild while it lasted, I suppose. You know? Number 2. I worked at a small, family-owned restaurant for over a year. All I did was wash dishes. The owner hated me and always made my shift miserable because her creepy husband loved being around me and talking to me, and she accused me of hooking up with him more than once. My last straw was her calling me a filthy whore in front of not just my coworkers, but also some customers. I was 15 years old.
Shut yo ass up with that silver.
Don't laugh at that. Who the fuck said that?
It's so nice of you to donate.
Yeah, so nice of me to donate to myself? I can't believe you said that out loud. This Dia chick is wild, man.
That's so nice of you to donate, Kyle. Wow, I didn't know.
Okay. Amazing. Thank you, Kyle. Right? Oh boy. I like how some women are so insecure that whenever there's like an attractive woman on deck, you know, suddenly they're a problem, you know?
Ugh! And her big stupid titties, what a bimbo. Her pretty hair. Think you're so cool.
Boy, as we travel to number 1 on the list of rage quit stories, help me out by liking this video. Also go share it with somebody that will most likely just be like, man, this guy may be bearable for when I have him on in the background, I'm doing something else. But I can't imagine his channel will be worth me perusing. And then they'll be right, because all the other videos are like unbearable. And I'm just like, man, I can't complete the list. Number 1, my wife was about to give birth. I took the job as a temp and was only there for 3 weeks. I worked there while I continued to look for an office job in engineering. The super I called to let know my wife was having contractions and that her water had broken, told me to get to work and that the baby wouldn't be born till later anyways. I said, no, I'm driving my wife to the hospital now, and he told me to get the fuck to work, and I simply said I quit and hung up on him. 10 days later, I found a job and have been employed there for 4 years now. What a cum burger. What a cum burger. What are you laughing at? Stripe says Kyle giving himself money when there's a hurricane. Wait a minute, is that like a fusion between like a woman and a hurricane? A hurricane? What the hell, man?
It's gonna rock you like a hurricane.
Here I am, man. How to take some down with a machete. Boy, I don't know if we should watch that. Why does it say fake? It's fake then. Time to destroy. When my little nephew asks if I want to play Mario Kart with him. Destroy item. You are about to destroy child. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Wow. We don't see a lot of black people on Roast Me. And this bitch couldn't even figure out how to write so that it would appear the right way when she took the picture. Maybe it was deliberate. I doubt it. So, let's get into it. The thick ass eyebrows and those lips, Dia.
What of it?
The colors.
So?
My lips aren't like that.
And some people's are.
Okay.
Like my top lip is darker than my bottom lip.
Figure out how to put the picture. You're killing me. You could have flipped that.
Everyone does it. Shut
Somebody said, you look like your DNA was written with wingdings. Man, the textures on your lower lip forgot to load. Hey, she got a classic case of dick lip. You figure out the rest. You shouldn't do your makeup in cursive. Oh, your eyebrows shouldn't be the same size as KFC's potato wedges. I really enjoy when I got the two things that I know people are going to go for when they look at this chick. Dem eyebrows, dem lips. Man, you call these roasts? Okay. Why y'all being so nice? You know what I mean? Unbelievable. Yeah, you know, I guess all that waiting, hoping to see Modern Warfare come out was for nothing if the hurricane's gonna come and just screw us all up, you know? Wow. I could download Control and play it, even though, yeah, I'll do that. Why not? Why not? Yeah. Yeah. Wait, no, I mean, I'll pay for that. Yes. Saved it. As all good boys should. Yeah. Doing things any other way would not be good on ye internet. Ye internet? I don't know. Guys, I love you. Like the video. Do what you do. I'm gonna go eat. I hope you can have a wonderful evening and that things will make sense. Update, my daughter's body is still stuck inside a wall. No sleep. Oh, my daughter's body. Fun with friends. Not safe for work. That's some dangerous stuff. RDJ on the Disney Sony Spider-Man situation. Okay. I mean, what is there? What else is there, guys? I love you. Stay out of trouble. And then that's that. Bye. Hope you enjoyed. Wait a minute. Thank you to the patrons. Haha. I thought I forgot. Thank you to the sponsors. Now that's what I'm talking about. And thank you to Mr. Ryukage as well as me, because I donated apparently. I don't even know what to say there. Ridiculous. And thanks to Mug again. You know, in case I'm a WizK listens to this after the fact. You're amazing. Have a great night, guys. Bye.